Yarman Ford Indianola, your certified Ford Model E dealer. All month long, save big on our new 2024 Ford electric vehicles. Lease a new all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning for only $345 per month. Lease the all-electric Mach-E for only $299 per month. Plus, the new Ford Power Promise. Get a home charger with your purchase. Come see our electric vehicle specialist here at Yarman Ford Indianola. DeYarmanFord.com.
It's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and if you've been thinking about upgrading that old wood or gas fireplace in your home or adding a new one someplace that you've always wanted, we have Central Iowa's best selection of wood, gas, and electric fireplaces. So if you've always wanted to add some warmth and beauty along with value to your home, come see us at Fireplace Superstore today.
10820 Douglas in Urbandale.
Getting your car serviced or repaired can be a pain. That's why Westside Auto Pros is committed to making it as painless as possible. If you wish, we'll come get your car at your home or office and return it when it's done. Or you can drop your car off here and we'll shuttle you to where you want to go. When we're finished with your car, we'll come pick you up and bring you back. If your car is going to be here for a few days, we offer low to no cost rentals. So give us a call and say, I can't wait to have my car serviced at Westside Auto Pros.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V-Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand, custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Welcome into Northwest High School, home of the Wolves, for a top 15 matchup in Class 3A girls soccer. It's the Wolves, top-ranked Wolves, I should mention, taking on the number 11 Johnston Dragons. Waukee Northwest enters 4-0 on the year. The Dragons 3-0-2. They're coming off of a 0-0 tie with Roosevelt. Meanwhile, the Wolves have just been rolling red hot as of late, led with 5 points by Aubrey Lalone. Getting ready for our starting lineups. They're playing it all out on the video board now. This great setup that they've got out here at Northwest High School. Getting ready for a great 3A showdown, as I mentioned, with these two teams. The leading scorer this season for Johnston thus far is junior Lydia Luo, who has 8 points, 4 goals this season, along with a handful of assists. So she's been busy. She scored quite a bit this season for the Johnston Dragons, and she'll look to strike early, especially coming off of the goose egg this Johnston team was left with after taking on Roosevelt. Of course, again, Northwest unblemished this season. They bump up to number 1 in the rankings after being number 4 last week. Johnston dropped 2 spots from number 9 to number 11. Getting ready for the national anthem here in just a moment. I believe we will head to a quick break, and we'll be right back with kickoff from Northwest High School.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and if you have an old inefficient wood fireplace, we need to talk. Heat & Glow has some great retrofit inserts to convert that old drafty wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace. A Heat & Glow gas insert will give you high efficiency, it will give you ease of operations, and it will give you enough warmth to take the edge off a cold winter's night. For the best in gas inserts, come see us at Fireplace Superstore today. Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and if you have an old inefficient wood fireplace, we need to talk. Heat & Glow has some great retrofit inserts to convert that old drafty wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace. A Heat & Glow gas insert will give you high efficiency, it will give you ease of operations, and it will give you enough warmth to take the edge off a cold winter's night. For the best in gas inserts, come see us at Fireplace Superstore today.
Now inching closer to that national anthem, getting ready for opening handshakes at midfield with our officials as well. Both teams lining up on their respective sidelines and getting ready. It's a bit of a chilly night here at Northwest High School and been a bit of a chilly day overall. We'll turn it over to our PA announcer now for those full starting lineups.
One of the goals of high school athletics is learning lifetime values. Sportsmanship is one such value that makes these games an educational experience. The CIML Conference and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union ask for your cooperation in making this game a memorable experience for these young athletes. Now let's meet the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Dragons of Johnston High School. Starting in goal, number 0, senior Delaney Ford. Number 1, senior Hallie Howe. Number 3, senior Kate Strickler. Number 4, junior Lydia Lowell. Number 6, sophomore Abrielle Tusi. Number 7, sophomore Cora Shaw. Number 13, senior Shay Griffin. Number 14, senior Maria Wilcox. Number 19, junior Gabby Black. Number 20, freshman Alexa Leach. Johnston is coached by Eric Schaefer and assisted by Michael Furrow, assistant coach Dominic Ford, and Nathan Tyriorts. Number 15, senior Kaylee Leah. And now for your Northwest Wolves. Starting in goal, number 0, junior Grace Thompson. Number 1, senior Olivia Stapleton. Number 2, junior Grace Rodeker. Number 6, senior Sarah Predon. Number 7, senior Brindley Hilson. Number 8, junior Kinsey Shea. Number 12, senior Emma Twigg. Number 14, senior Josie Jones. Number 16, senior Aubrey Lalone. Number 23, senior Lizzie Shane. And number 25, sophomore Romy Croat. Your Wolves are coached by Tony Gabriel, assisted by Jamie Pringle, John Golly, and Maddie Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you all to please rise, remove your hats, and direct your attention to the American flag located.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Over 1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Thank you for tuning into today's broadcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our live events. You can also follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram in the description below for more coverage of Central Iowa high school sports and the Des Moines Menace. Now, back to the game.
And we are back at Northwest High School getting ready for kickoff here between the top-ranked Wolves and the number 11-ranked Johnston Dragons. Dragons again entering 3-0-2 on the year. The Wolves 4-0, unblemished this season. And in net for the Wolves tonight will be Grace Thomason. The junior has not given up a goal this season, hoping that I didn't just bring a broadcaster's jinx to this game before we even get started. With that, the Wolves will kick things off and try and get the offense going quickly. As Romy Crowett will kick it off to Olivia Stapleton. As we inch closer here to the start of tonight's matchup, 2 40-minute halves, 80 minutes of soccer for these two teams. Just after 7:30, we're looking at 7:40 this evening as we will kick off, and it'll be Stapleton to Crowett. I apologize. Things have quieted a bit over the crowd. Waiting for the official referee whistle, and we are off, and Northwest will start to press right away. They'll work it down and into Sierra Predin. Predin will work it across the field and go all the way to the far side with it. Looks like a 3-5-1 maybe or a 4-4-2, sorry, for Johnston on their structure. Meanwhile, Northwest attacking quickly. That's Brinley Hellison getting stopped at the just outside the 18 box. She loses it on the first touch, and that ball's bound the other way. Johnston going to come away with it, playing it up the line and ahead. Here comes Luo. Luo, the stealthy scorer this year for Johnston. As I mentioned, 4 goals this season. Gets it taken away. Nice defensive play there by Emma Twigg. And Northwest will begin to counter. Wolves trying to work it back and switch field a bit, using that goalkeeper and Grace Thomason. Thomason has time. She'll send it well out wide there for Brinley Hellison. Hellison can't quite corral it on the first touch, but settles things down, sends it up the line. The ball just bounding a bit. There's Crowett now. Of course, Romy, basketball player as well for this Northwest team. Both these teams, basketball teams, I should say, had a nice little run this season. That ball just crossing over the line there, and I think Sierra Prodden will have a bit of a debate, but not much of it. The flag goes up, and it'll be a throw in here for Cora Shaw. Shaw, the strong throw, gets flicked on with the header by Luo. Collision inside the 18-yard box. Ref says play on. And along the far side, nowhere to go, really up the line for Northwest, and Johnston with the ball back. And they'll try and attack the 18-yard box. Here's Luo again. Fancy footwork to get around the defender. That ball off of Luo last, and that'll be a goal kick. So far, both teams getting a bit of offensive pace to their game. It'll be Thomason now to set things up, and she'll just send it out to her defender off to the left. Northwest playing right to left on your screen in the all-blue. Johnston in the white top, purple shorts. We'll say it's just warm enough for the long sleeve and shorts tonight. Turnover at midfield there. It's Reese Rucker coming away with it, and Northwest will now go back on the attack. Playing it back. It's a possession game so far for Northwest. Back up the middle, turned over. Johnston now looking to counter with it. Through ball ahead, but that's just a little too strong as Thomason settles it down with her feet. She'll play it right back up to Brindley Hellison. Hellison will get moving with it to Crowett. Crowett across the field for her back defender. And some nice touch passing there for the Wolves. The cross-field pass doesn't find any feet. Crowett will reset here. Then she'll send a through ball up ahead for her attacking forward. Off the line comes Delaney Ford. Ford puts a boot to it and sends it away from harm. Heady play there by Delaney Ford, the senior goalkeeper. Just 4 goals against this season. Up ahead quickly goes Johnston. The header just going to be handled with the feet and sent out of bounds quickly there. It's a smart play by the Wolves. Emma Twigg, the senior defender, says, you know what, let's get it out of the 18 and put it off the side. So here comes the throw from Shaw. Shaw strong into the box. Doesn't quite settle into her teammate's feet, but nice little attempt there for the Dragons. But now it's Waukee Northwest on the counter. Some fancy footwork there by Prodden. She works her way ahead. That ball looking well out wide. No one's going to really get to it here, and Johnston will just try and keep moving quickly. That ball was up and ahead for Aubrey Lalone. Lalone couldn't quite get to it. On the season, Lalone with 5 points. She's got 3 assists, 1 goal. Goals are worth 2 points in the stat book. As Northwest will now keep moving forward. They keep pressing to Prodden. Prodden's touch gets a little strong, turned over, but no harm back to the defensive line for Northwest. Settling things down, Twig with a little give and go. Sorry, that's Kinsey Shea with the little give and go there. Shea couldn't quite settle it, and that ball once again sent out of bounds by Johnston. A lot of soccer being played between the 30s on the football grid. Of course, field a bit wider. You might not be able to pick it all up on the screen. We have black lines on the sidelines just beyond the white football grid. That is our soccer pitch this evening. Here comes Brindley Hellison. Hellison turns it over once again, sticks with it. Ball finally settled by Pradden. Pradden, nice little cut, chops it away. She's going to try and take some time here, thinks about what she wants to do with it, going to keep working it low to the corner. Looking for a bit of a cross on her left, just never had a lot of space, and that's a great defensive play down there for Johnston. Off the foot of Kate Strickler, the senior defender as well there. Strickler did everything right to keep Prodden in front of her. Now Northwest with the throw-in. Finds ahead of Johnston. Prodden again with it. Sends in a left. On net and corralled by Delaney Ford. Ford doing a good job to get her hands on it and keep that ball secured. She rolls it out, and here comes Johnston on another counter. Looking ahead to Luo. Turned over. Going back at it. Here's Crowett. Crowett will send it up the field just a little bit outside there. And over on the far side was Lalone. She gets it kicked off her foot, but they're going to say that's Johnston's ball going back the other direction. Here comes Northwest once again, pressing a little bit, but Johnston doing a good job not allowing a clean first touch. It's Shea now. She'll send it back to her back line and let them do some work, find some space, but again, turned over. Johnston just suffocating on defense right now. So they send it ahead, and that ball will find the foot on the back line of Kinsey Shea once again. Shea just gives it a boot, trying to get it upfield a bit. Doesn't really go anywhere as Johnston just keeps holding that back line and holding that back line. Here's Shea once again. Shea across for Hellison. Hellison will work it down the line. Prodden doing some work, gets ball knocked off her foot. The through pass doesn't quite get in. Good pressure from Stapleton. Johnston's going to retain the ball. Here comes Shaw quickly, going to throw it out ahead for Luo. Luo, just one defender to beat, works around her, gets cut off. Great defensive play once again. That's Emma Twigg. We've said her name a couple of times. Luo, though, sticks with it to keep possession. Coach Schaefer, looking for a bit of a call. Does not quite get it. Here's Shaw going to the corner. Little strong, runs out of real estate, and that will be a goal kick. Going back the Wolves' way. Maybe best chance we've seen from Johnston thus far. Getting some possession, just Luo sticking with it. Again, 4 goals this season, 8 points. Northwest going to send it long and to the chest, just does not quite get corralled once again. Johnston going to go right back the other way. Aside from one good look there from Northwest, it's really been Johnston operating on their offensive half of the field so far in the first 9.5 minutes of this game. Johnston with speed across the middle, looking for a pass. It's to Shaw. Shaw holding off a defender on her back, trying to get a turn. She'll send it down the line. Lovely play, then the cross over the top. Here comes Luo, just a little strong. And Thomason comes up once again with it. Loved the touch, though, off the top there. Maria Wilcox had it over the top, just a little strong for Luo, but you like the design on that play. Here comes Northwest once again, trying to take that off the foot of Johnston. Northwest will restructure a bit in the back. Send it up the line, and Johnston just winning all of those passes and attacking the ball quite a bit. As we're going to get a pair of subs in here. For Waukee Northwest, it's Cora Sundit and Natalie Elliott coming in. Giving a quick reprieve to Prodden. As well as Olivia Stapleton. Here's the throw-in on the far side of the field. Ball once again getting settled to the feet of Johnston. Johnston going to go try and get some more offensive opportunities going just out of the reach of Shaw. Stepping up and into it was Wilcox. She sent it long, and that found the foot of Thomason once again. And we've got an injury timeout, it looks like. Bloody nose for a player. Never a fun spot to be in. That's Sundit, who just came in, actually, who's got the bloody nose, and so she'll be given a rest by Mulbauer. That's Haley Mulbauer, the senior midfielder, 22 in the program. No real injuries to speak of, just a little bit of blood, and they'll stop play for that every time. Johnston with the ball, going to play it back. Once again, playing that possession game. Stepping in nicely there was Brindley Hellison. Ball played just a little strong out in front of the offense, and once again, it's going to be Ford collecting it. She'll give it a good boot here in just a moment. Here comes Northwest on the attack once again. Out into space, dribbling through some traffic there and finding some room to operate. That's a great give and go. It's Lalone once again. Lalone in alone, puts it ahead. Quick shot, no. Ball will bound to the sideline. Great opportunity. And one Northwest would likely want back. What an attack it was. As that ball was sent across the box, nearly to the back of the twine by Josie Jones, the captain, senior midfielder. Beautiful play. That ball going to stick with Northwest, and it's going to be a corner here for the Wolves. They're on the prowl now, looking, and is that shot by Jones just deflecting wide, and then teammates couldn't quite get to it. So Northwest will try and run the set play here. On the far side, it's going to be Reese Recker. Roker steps up, gives it a big boot out into the box. We're going to get a header just wide and over the top. But a good look for the Wolves once again off the corner. Can't quite get that angle down. I believe it was Crowett with the header, and This ball will just settle as a goal kick, but Northwest now starting to get their offense moving and attack that Johnston defensive four there. Goal kick will find its way back to the feet of Northwest, and back come the Wolves again on the attack. Great play to break that little give and go up. That was a lovely stop by Alexia Leach, the freshman midfielder for Johnston. But once again, here comes Northwest. They'll say we have just a little bit of an intrusion there. So we'll get a free kick here right about the 30-yard line. That is the nice thing about being on the football field. Officials can set up what they need, give clear instruction, and not just have to leave a guessing game. So once again, this is going to be Reese Roker. Roker going to send it in with the right. Over the top, the header, right into the midst of Delaney Ford. And once again, the attack stifled by that back line, and great play by Ford. Now on the counter again, here's Johnston. Just a little bit too strong for Luo. Up ahead off the foot of Shaw. Johnston's really loving to live off this right side of their attack. The Shaw to Luo connection is what they're looking for right now, and just hasn't quite landed for them yet. Meanwhile, Northwest has had a couple of good opportunities. I'd say 2 good scoring opportunities that have been quelled as they continue to move forward. Northwest again playing possession, 14 minutes into this game, 26 left in the half. Ball turned over there at midfield, and Northwest trying to look for another turnover to get it right back on their feet as Johnston will play it back to Ford. She's under some duress, but just sends it away, and it's going to find some space out wide and just bound out of bounds. Ford doing a nice job to just make sure that there is no threat there, because coming in hot was Natalie Elliott, the freshman forward. She was hot on her horse to try and corral that ball and hunt it down, but Ford doing a good job to just stave off any chances. Once again, Northwest winning a 50-50 ball, but trapped in a glass case of emotion over there on the far side. So we're going to get a foul and kicked out of bounds. Flag goes up, and that'll stay with Northwest. It'll be a free kick, not a throw-in.
Correction, direct free kick for the Wolves.
Over on the far side of the field. Trying to catch a number on a jersey way out there. Getting a little bit further back from the field here at Northwest with the track. Ball sent into the box. No chance for the header there for Lalone, and that ball getting sent right back in. Takes one big bounce, and then a few headers later, it's just bounding around there around the 25-yard line. And here comes Northwest once again with some speed. It was Lalonde again creating some pressure there, and that forces a throw in for Waukee Northwest. The high arching flip throw gets flicked in. Not quite settled down. Luo will bring it to her feet and start trying to attack. Instead, no. Josie Jones again steps in. Nice little cutback move around the defender. Sends one across the box into the feet. Just can't quite get it to go down. Crowett now at the top of the box. Has a look with her left. Can't settle it. Once again, that ball bounding around. Settled back in. Jones has a go with her right. It's blocked. That ball goes off of Northwest and will head Johnston's direction as we get another sub. This one coming for the Dragons.
Freshman, Jaslyn Long.
Jaslyn Long comes in, the freshman forward. And they'll give, looks like Shaw a quick break. Let her catch her wind and keep moving forward. Northwest trying to play a little two-person game there. Doesn't quite have the right touch on it. Will go out of bounds, and here comes the throw ahead once again. Headed away. Some fancy footwork turned over by Jones. Strong turn. Has it going the other direction. A few fans wanted a foul call instead. They'll stick with it. Here's Crowett playing a through ball up ahead. Had the space, had the play. Trying to hunt down that ball is Natalie Elliott. Elliott tripped up a bit. And back comes Northwest. It's Jones. Trying to weave through some traffic. Still has it on her feet. Nifty move around a defender by herself in. Sends it across and a one-touch to the back of the net. What a goal for Waukee Northwest. A great find on the back post for Natalie Elliott. The freshman buries it. And it is a 1-0 soccer game for Northwest. It was a great move by Josie Jones, the senior, showing some flash and flair. Gets in on the 2-on-1, sends it across, and it is put home by Elliott. And that makes it a 1-0 game. The Wolves have struck first tonight. Jones grabs a much-needed water break after that run, and a great feed. And they'll check in quickly. I'm sure they'll want her back in shortly after she catches that breath. But what a breathtaking play it was. Nothing Delaney Ford could really do on that play. She almost comes up with it anyway, but just a little bit more muster and English on it, and that was what got it across the goal line. Northwest going to keep trying to attack. Sorry. But Johnston trying to counter back, and nothing really going for Johnston now. Things have tampered a bit. Wolves will have the throw-in. Ellison with the big throw. Little touch pass from Crowett gets taken away, and going back the other way ahead for Luo. Lydia Luo, again, leading scorer for Johnston, just has had the ball on her feet a little bit, but Northwest doing everything they can to collapse on her and not give her much space to work. She's got some speed and some footwork that can kind of get her out of some trouble if she needs it. But right now, this game, all Northwest, it's flipped a bit. We're going to call a handball there on Reese Roker. That'll be a free kick for Johnston. Here comes the delivery. Sending it into the box is Johnston. That's just going to be right on net and nothing to really worry too much about with Grace Thomason. Thomason's going to force her line back and send this one to midfield with the boot. Takes one big hop. Still not quite settled down there yet. Finally finds the feet of Northwest, and they're going to go right back on the attack. Another through attempt looking for Natalie Elliott. Couldn't quite get it to her, and that ball goes out of bounds. And we'll stay with Northwest. Wolves throw in once again. Again, John Schaefer on the call tonight. Don't think I introduced myself for the evening either. So we are getting another check in. Here comes Stapleton for Northwest. And that'll bring Izzy Simonini off the field for a brief break.
Goal kick for the Dragons.
Be a goal kick for the Dragons there. Ball never really getting into a threatening position. So we're now under a little less than halfway through, a little more than halfway through, I should say, this first half, and it is a 1-0 game. Ball has lived around midfield for a bit, but you can see why this Northwest team is the #1 team in the state. Trying to move to 5-0 on the season. Good structure coming in, looking for a cross. It is sent across. No, it is blocked instead, and we're going to get another Northwest corner. And that was Lindsay Shane looking for a window to send that ball into the 18. Couldn't quite find it. Instead, she'll take the corner and see if they can capitalize and make this a 2-0 game. Here comes the cross, curling out to the top of the 18. Prodden can't quite settle it. She'll just send it back to her back line, and then that gets booted back to the 18-yard box. Ball sent out wide, a little strong there from Olivia Stapleton. Crowett will send it back over the top. Trying to hunt it down before it goes out of bounds, and I think that will be another corner kick for the Wolves. Coming in to take it is Reese Roker. Roker's got a short option there if she wants it, but I think she's looking to send it back in close to that 6-yard box. She'll go over the top, a little bit of bend in it. That'll find the back foot. Off the volley, can't quite get good foot on it. Way out there on the far side was Natalie Elliott. Again, the freshman tried to play it off the one hop, just couldn't quite get it down to her foot to a point where she could strike it well. Instead, it'll be a throw-in for Northwest. Good battle there outside the 18. That'll just be sent out of bounds once again. Another throw-in for Waukee Northwest. They'll keep it moving here as they have some pressure building up.
Throw-in Wolves.
Here comes the throw-in once again. A header. Gets it a little bit closer to that goal, but Johnston says, get away from us. Sends it back out to midfield. Northwest will back up and resettle things down a bit. Ball finding the feet of the Wolves plenty tonight, and feels like they've really had a lot of possession in this game. Johnston just waiting for a chance to counter things up and strike a bit, but Northwest not giving them any space to really work. It's been a good game so far. 1-0, as I mentioned. That ball sent into the 18-yard box. Ford will come out once again and hold on tight to it. Again, almost made the save on that goal, but not much she could do other than the effort she gave on it. It was just a great play by Waukee Northwest. Now here come the Wolves once again. No room to really work there. Turned over, going back the other way. Luo out in front. Pass ahead there by Hallie Howe. Just going to be a little too strong there.
Entering the game for the Dragons is number 7, sophomore
Chloe Shaw, I'm sorry. Cora Shaw comes back in. That'll give Aubrielle Tusi a bit of a break. And Thomason will put it back into play. Again, 14 minutes to play in this first half. Turned over. Dangerous spot for a turnover. Lua with a quick little give and go look, and both Johnston players just kind of looking at each other like, what are we doing here? No problem, though. Kaylee Ellier, just a little bit of miscommunication that'll happen in those spots. She was looking for the give and go, and a little strong over the top for Luo. The boot by Thomason gets settled by her from midfield. Now they'll try and work it out wide. Just a little too far ahead does that pass go. Now here comes Johnston on a bit of a counter. Instead, it'll be back to Jones. Jones, the nifty feet, gets bumped off the ball. A little bit of a strong play there by Jaslyn Long. Josie Jones doing a good job getting around one player and then just gets knocked off the ball a bit. Ref says we'll play it back here at the 35. Once again, it'll be Roker. Here goes Roker, looking for some movement from her teammates. She's going to send it in the 18-yard box. It's up over the top. Ford corrals it, then gets a little bit of a collision there. No worse for the wear, as Olivia Stapleton just bumped into her a bit. Both end up all right with it. Luo trying to play one over the top. Nice little flick there. That'll come in tight to Alexia Leach. Leach lost it, and that's going to go back Northwest's way. Prodden up ahead. Stapleton now. Back to Prodden. Prodden, nice move to get around a defender. She's got a few numbers in her favor. Sends it into Stapleton. Stapleton out of reach. It's going to go back Johnston's way. Now Jones. Jones again with the header. Trying to go to Stapleton. Stapleton can't quite elevate. Nice defensive play there for Johnston. Johnston's just going to clear it again. But really nice work by the Dragons there. That was Kate Strickler with the defensive play to get that initial touch to let it bound out even further into the midfield. It's Thomason now with it. She'll punt it away. Off the hop. It's a 50-50 ball. It goes back to Drags. Jones, though, will find a way to bring it back to her foot. Tried to go forward, couldn't quite do it, so now it'll be a reset here on the back line for Northwest. Ball misplayed. A couple headers there. Now that ball's going to find the foot of Hellison. Hellison tries to boot one away. Again, another foot found, just not her teammates. That ball, as it was tried to be kept in, kicked off of a Johnston player out on the far side. A few more subs here for the Wolves.
Number 16, senior Aubrey Lalone, and number 25, sophomore Romy Croat.
Right back at it goes Northwest. Ball on the foot there, turned over. It's Jaslyn. Long, nice move. She's got some space to work. They're going to call offsides as Luo needed that pass just a hair earlier, but that's a really smart play on the back line by Emma Twig. Twig just held her ground as Long was looking for the pass. Luo just kept running, and she was about 2 yards offsides by the time the pass was delivered, and that will be a turnover. Northwest now going to start with it and send it back towards the offensive end of the floor. Jones from the mid going to play it back again. Twig over the top. Stapleton's there. She's going to bring it in, try and turn. Nowhere to really go, but she still manages to find a teammate there. Now playing it along the far side. Here comes Northwest again on the attack. That ball booted out of bounds, and it'll be another corner kick. Northwest lurking in the weeds right now, looking for another goal to try and build on their 1-0 lead. Cora Sundit will step over there. Looking for a short pass just in case, drawing a couple defenders out of that box. But it'll be Roker sending it into the box with the right. Finds a couple of feet there. Stapleton couldn't get a good right on it and kind of boots it sideways, and so it'll be a Reset again for Waukee Northwest. Ball will hop a couple times out of bounds over the black line on the far side. Johnston trying to move quickly here and catch Northwest off guard a bit. Ball being played down the line. Here comes a strong run, cut off though. That was Hellison that cutter. Didn't catch a number there on the offensive player for Johnston. It was long. Long, a quick flick back to the middle. Sticking with it there in the midfield for Johnston. And then Luo up the middle, just again a little strong out of her reach, and gives a thumbs up, quick thumbs up there for a nice little play through by Hallie Howe. Here comes Northwest once again. Into space, here's Crowett. Crowett quite can't get a foot on it, but she'll send it out wide. Just past Crowett again. Here comes Johnston now. Their back line's been pretty steady tonight. No real mistakes to speak of. Just some nice offensive work by Northwest led to that goal. And here's Jones again, who had that nice offensive move. Draws another foul there, and that one is Kate Strickler. Just cuts off Jones. Josie Jones has had some fancy footwork all evening long. Of course, she had the primary assist on that first goal of the night. So now we're going to get a boot into the box from Crowett. Johnston going to set their four-person wall here. And we'll see what Northwest dials up.
Is number 18, freshman Anna Riemann.
Romy Crowett waits patiently for the subs to come in. Crowett will deliver. Puts it on frame and bends it just inside and wide of that near post. Just a little bit too much starting left of the post, and then add the bend to it, and it flexes its way past the net harmlessly. So that'll be a goal kick here for Delaney Ford, the senior again. Sets and delivers. Crowett will go back over the top to Stapleton. Stapleton ahead. Mishandled a bit. Going to send it out wide once again. And down the line, just a little strong for Lalone. The ball goes out of bounds. Lindsay Shane with that pass to Lalone. That was just a little strong, but no worse for the wear as Northwest continues to attack. That'll be a goal kick now. Ball played out wide for Johnston again. Pressure here from the Wolves. We're going to get a throw in. Under 6 to play in the first half. Throw in just a little strong. It'll go off the Dragons player.
Entering the game for the Wolves is number 11, freshman Natalie Elliott.
So once again, it'll be a throw in. Here comes Elliott back out. She'll replace Stapleton. Nice 1-2 punch there for the Wolves this season. Stapleton this year has 1 goal on the season, and she started all 4 games of the year for Northwest so far. It'll be a free kick for Northwest here on a foul out toward the boundary. Natalie Elliott with 1 goal as well this year. She's had 14 shots on net, Finally able to cash in another one. And we're going to get a delivery from the far side. Roker waiting, and she asked for a step off to get that 10 yards of space from the wall. Felt like she didn't get a lot of room to work there. Wall readjusts, and Roker will settle in. Here she comes once again. False step. Wanted to see where people were moving. Sends it into the box. The header not quite there. Goes straight up. And that one goes away, and it's working its way back. Northwest will send it back to the last defender. That's booted back over the top. Johnston trying to get this out of a dangerous territory. Instead, it's Jones. She's going to have a go. Sails it up and through the uprights. Unfortunately, it's got to go underneath that crossbar to be a good one. Instead, it's harmless once again, and Ford will slow things down for the goal kick as we sit 1-0 with 3:30 to play. Here comes Johnston again. Northwest going to try and pin them in the corner. Nice little touch there. Long going right back to it. Two-person game working well for Johnston along the sidelines. That ball turned over, though. Crowett gets bumped off. Ref's going to call a push there. That is going to be a foul at the 30. Bit of a no-brainer call there. As Alexia Leach just a little strong there on the defensive side of the ball. Going a three-person wall from the 30 now as Roker gets ready. Roker delivers. It's outright. One big hop. Great play and great read by Delaney Ford once again. Comes off her line and will boot it away to midfield as Northwest kind of has numbers against them. It's the Dragons now on the attack. Here come Johnston. Turnover there. It'll be a Johnston throw-in. The Dragons looking for some late half momentum. Quick throw over the top. Just a little strong, and that's going to find the mitts of Thomason. Just a little bit too strong there from Cora Shaw. Now we're under 2 to play. This game's really lived around midfield most of the night. Northwest, I'd say, has a few more opportunities. Johnston had a shot or two early on in this game that could have gone, or could have been hazardous, but it is Northwest with the lone goal tonight so far. We're 38 and a half minutes into this game. Northwest trying to find a way to settle this down. Johnston content with it living above the heads of their opponent. Ball staying in. Nice keep. They'll find Crowett. Crowett crossing over. Sends it in with the left. Didn't have much to follow up with it. And that'll be another goal kick as we're under a minute to play in the half. Ford wants to push a bit. 45 seconds now. Northwest once again with possession. They'll work it back to the middle of the field. Here comes Jones. Jones dazzling her way down the field. She's got some space to work. Sends it out wide. Maybe just a little strong as we tick under 30. Northwest still has possession. Sending it back towards that 18 box. Can't do much with it there. And Johnston's just going to flick it away harmlessly as we're down to 20 seconds. Northwest pressing, though. Looking for some space. Up ahead. That ball just going to be cleared out to the bound. As we're under 10, and we've got a foul call late.
9, 8, 7,
and that is about where we will wrap up halftime here as Waukee Northwest will go into the break. Up 1-0 on the Johnston Dragons. The top-ranked Wolves find it off the foot of Natalie Elliott, her second on the season off the assist from Josie Jones. And that is where we sit currently. We'll get ready for the final 40 here, 10 minutes away from kickoff to half number 2 at Northwest High School.
Save big this month on all new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Rams at DeArmond CDJR Ames. New Jeep Wagoneers with up to $13,000 off MSRP. Or get up to $16,000 off MSRP if you currently own a Ford. Brand new 2024 Ram 2500 Crew Cab 4x4 starting at only $42,990. And over 20% off on new Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4s. That's right, over 20% off. Save big here at the all-new DeArmond CDJR Ames.
It's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and if you've been thinking about upgrading that old wood or gas fireplace in your home or adding a new one someplace that you've always wanted, we have Central Iowa's best selection of wood, gas, and electric fireplaces. So if you've always wanted to add some warmth and beauty along with value to your home, come see us at Fireplace Superstore today.
10820 Douglas in Urbandale.
Getting your car serviced or repaired can be a pain. That's why Westside Auto Pros is committed to making it as painless as possible. If you wish, we'll come get your car at your home or office and return it when it's done. Or you can drop your car off here and we'll shuttle you to where you want to go. When we're finished with your car, we'll come pick you up and bring you back. If your car is going to be here for a few days, we offer low to no cost rentals.
So give us a call and say, I can't wait to have my car serviced at Westside Auto Pros.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Well, it was plenty of back and forth opportunities as Northwest, I'd say, took a little bit of a stranglehold on the start of that, or the back half of that half. Johnston struggling to really work that ball past the 30-yard line on the offensive end of the field. And Northwest does strike pretty early on in this one, or in the first half of that first half. It was Natalie Elliott finding the back of the net, barely snuck over. I shouldn't even say it found the back of the net. It squeaked over the goal line. Great play by Josie Jones to weave her way through a couple defenders, send it across the box. And then it was Natalie Elliott there on the doorstep to finish it off and make it a 1-0 game. Northwest Wolves leading Johnston. Johnston had a shot or two early on. Looked like they had some momentum going their way. But again, that back line for Northwest playing very solid. I should say both back lines playing really solid. This game has lived between the 20s much of tonight. Looking ahead for both of these teams, let's take a gander at their upcoming schedule, or we can look at their last five as well. Johnston, 3-0-2 to start their year. They have ties against Dallas Center Grimes and most recently the Des Moines Roosevelt Rough Riders. That game earlier this week. Otherwise, Johnston's had a trio of wins in a row. They beat Kennedy 2-1, Southeast Polk 2-0, and Maryville 2-0. Meanwhile, Northwest, red hot to start. They beat Dallas Center Grimes 1-0, topped Linmar 2-zip. Agony Centennial, they got the better of that one as well, 3-0, and Urbandale 3-0. This is a Northwest team that hasn't played far from home much, only one road game to start the year. Let's take a look at Johnston's upcoming schedule after tonight. See if I can find that really quick. They'll take on Underwood, or they already did. The Underwood match was canceled last night, I should say. And then they wound up with tonight's game. So up next, they'll go to Ankeny next week, or go home, take on Ankeny next week, as well as Dowling Catholic. And then at Urbandale is their next 3 games. Taking a look at Waukee Northwest on the other side of things for them. Let's take a look at their schedule for the next 3. Obviously, Johnston tonight. Then they go at Valley, at Gretna East, and then Southeast Polk back here at their own barn on the 29th, which is a Tuesday, so a couple Tuesdays away. That Valley matchup is one a lot of eyes will be on, as the Valley Tigers were number 2 in the last rankings that I saw. Most recent rankings, they are still number 2 at 5-0-1. So they stay strong at 2. Centennial's now up to number 3. Ankeny number 4. Waukee rounds out the top 5. Then you get a handful of Eastern Iowa schools there at 6, 7, 8, and 9 with Linn-Mar, Bettendorf, Pleasant Valley, and Iowa City Liberty. Then Dowling Catholic rounds out the top 10. Meanwhile, Johnston looking for an equalizer here in the final 40 of tonight as they take on the top seed, or top-ranked team, I should say, in Waukee Northwest. We'll go to a break, and when we come back, we'll get you ready for kickoff in just a bit here from Northwest High School.
Getting your car serviced or repaired can be a pain. That's why Westside Auto Pros is committed to making it as painless as possible. If you wish, we'll come get your car at your home or office and return it when it's done. Or you can drop your car off here and we'll shuttle you to where you want to go. When we're finished with your car, we'll come pick you up and bring you back. If your car is going to be here for a few days, we offer low to no cost rentals.
So give us a call and say, I can't wait to have my car serviced at Westside Auto Pros.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Over 1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Just over a minute away from getting the start to half number 2 here at Northwest High School. A few minutes behind a handful of other games tonight. Looking around the rest of the CIML, big 5-4 matchup, Ankeny and Waukee, and just starting the second half a little bit ago, it was 0-0. No update there. And then it looks like Ankeny boys are up 3-0 on Linn-Mar, or defeat Linn-Mar 3-0. And then another girls matchup, Urbandale and Ankeny Centennial. Centennial up 2-0 on Urbandale in the second half of soccer over there. Both of those games started at 7 p.m. Number 15 Ames at Marshalltown tonight. Let me see if I can find you something really quick here before we kick off the final 25 seconds away now from the final half of play. Let me go just check. I might be out of my luck here. Ames High Athletics, what do you got going tonight? Looks like we don't have any updates on the soccer match out there. But some good ones brewing. Ames at Marshalltown, Marshalltown at Ames. You got Mason City at Des Moines East over at Williams Stadium. Hoover and Ottumwa kicked off at 6 tonight. Des Moines North versus Waterloo West, as well as Trainer and Sioux City West. Not a ton of games going on. The other one, early start, 5 p.m. out at Grinnell, was number 7 in Independence, taking on that Grinnell squad. And we're getting ready for half number 2 to kick off here from Northwest High School. We'll stick with the action as Johnston will start with the ball. It'll be Luo to get us rolling here. Lydia Luo hasn't had the ball on her foot a ton tonight. Of course, the leading goal scorer for this Dragons team. Would love nothing more than to find the back of the net here to get things going. Let's see if we can pull up some goal-scoring leaders. A lot of goals for a handful of small teams out there. Small schools, I should say. And we're underway. We got a foul right out of the gates.
Foul on the Wolves. Direct free kick for the Dragons.
Luo's in the top 25 for goal scorers. Of course, it is early. Evelyn Soto Contreras for Des Moines Lincoln has 17 goals on the season already in 7 games played. Ziva Spellman, sophomore for Roosevelt, has 9 goals on the year. 14 goals on the year. Started 9 games, 14 goals in 9 games. Impressive stuff there for Spellman as well. Alrighty, back to the action here. Northwest with the ball. Comes up with a steal, and that's going to be booted off a foot and going back Northwest's way. Minute into the second half. Northwest going to try and get some pressure going. The throw-in gets hipped out of bounds. And we'll keep progressing our way down the field. Stapleton tries to send it back to her line. Doesn't quite get there, and we're going to get another throw-in about from the same spot as last time. It's going to be Lindsay Shane this time. Shane finds Stapleton. Jones steps in, keeps the ball to her foot. It's Crowett. Back to Shane. Shane to Crowett. Crowett doesn't quite get it all on her. She was looking for a bit of a through ball, and that ball's going to just be headed out of bounds once again. And Johnston having to fend off some demons to start off here in this second half. The throw in, Stapleton just tries a little flick with the header. She's going to look to the middle. It's kicked away right to the foot of Jones. Jones settles it, tries to play it through. And that ball is gobbled up by Ford on the goal line. She'll chuck it out of there. Try and get her offense going back the other direction. Instead, turnover, foul. It's going to draw a free kick. No harm done, just a harmless foul. Nonetheless, it is a ball that will stay with Northwest. Twig going to deliver with the right. Move it out a little bit. Waiting for the signal from our official. She'll give it a go. Sends it in. Stapleton was looking to make a run. Didn't quite get over the top line. And here comes Luo with some speed. She's got to work through a couple defenders. Knocked off her foot. Lovely stab at it. That was a beautiful play by Brindley Hellison. Hellison just steps in on Luo, and Luo ran out of steam with it. That ball is right back in Northwest possession. Now along the line, it's Shane. Shane up ahead. Got a foul back at about the 35. Shane's had a couple of rough tackles on her as of late. She's just going to have to work through it at this point as Northwest now with the ball once again. Here's Shane with space. Going to send it down the line just a little bit too strong, and that's going to be all the way down to the cone. Skips over the flag, and that's going to be a goal kick for Johnston here as Ford goes and grabs the ball off the cone behind the net. You know, they didn't have that when I was playing. Usually you had to go hunt down the spare soccer ball or hope there was a ball boy out there that throw it your way. Instead, they get it catered to a little bit more at this age, or these days, I should say. Of course, sometimes that ball would bound into the woods at County Soccer Complex, and that was the worst case scenario. Of course, state soccer going to look a little different this year for the girls' side of things. Ball popped up at the 20, headed away by Crowett. That's going to take another big leap off ahead and out of bounds once again. See if we can get the official story on the state soccer tournament and how that will look this year. Obviously, of course, a move up to Ames is due. Let me see if I can do a little quick hunting while we continue to play out there. I'll keep you updated on what's happening on the field as well. So the championships for the next 3 years, starting this spring, the union has announced that Ames will play host to the state tournament. Quarterfinals and semifinals will be played at the Recreation Center in the Maple Willow Larch Fields, and championship games will be held at Cyclone Sports Complex, again up in Ames, and great venues for the state tournament to be in. Break the mold of getting out of Des Moines just a little bit, and not too far of a trek for the Central Iowa teams. Also, a little bit shorter for those Northwest and Northeast Iowa teams to get to Ames. It'll lengthen the trip up if you're from Muscatine or somewhere in the southern corner reaches of the state of Iowa. But again, only 30 minutes north of Des Moines. Isn't a crazy too big of an impact, but same time, it's good to see a change in venue and a little bit change of pace. Always enjoyed County, of course, grew up playing on those fields in high school. But here we are as Northwest attacks once again, and a good look there for the Wolves, just a little strong off the foot of Shane, and she sailed it over the crossbar, and still no harm done, though. You like the look there from Shane as she attacked, and really Johnston had the one run by Luo that got stabbed away from her. Other than that, in this half, it's really been much of Northwest's ball game. That'll be headed back to Stapleton. Stapleton kicked away from her. Looking for somewhere to go. They'll send it out wide to Shane. Shane having a run. Out wide, looking for some room to cross it in. She tries to cross. It's batted down. Great defensive play there on the left side of that defense was Shea Griffith, the senior defender. Bottled up Shane and then came away with the boot and just keeps it at a throw-in. A lot easier to manage a throw-in than those corner kicks at times. So Shane will throw it in. Goes down the line to Stapleton. Stapleton looking for some room to work. Again, gobbled up, but that goes out of bounds, and we will get another corner here for the Wolves. It'll be Roker. Roker will take the corner to start here. She's a righty. She's taken a majority of these corners tonight. Had a couple of good deliveries, just hasn't been able to find the back of the net on the set play. So here comes another delivery. This one low and hard, cleared away nicely. That's Gabby Black giving it a boot out, and that's going to be going the other way. Here comes Johnston. It's Luo once again. Gets it booted away by Panam. Here comes Stapleton. Once again, great defense by that back line of Johnston, but Northwest retains possession. They're inside the 18, looking for some space. Prodden trying to settle it down, gives it a left, and that's going to go well wide of the cage. And will be another goal kick. Prodden gave it a left, popped it up a bit, just couldn't quite get good, solid contact on it. And Johnston going to go right back to work. Northwest going to try and force the issue. Stapleton runs through the defender there, and that's going to be a free kick near that corner. That one sent to midfield. And right back goes Northwest. Stapleton ahead for Crowett. Crowett into some space. Thought about having a go. Instead, she'll look for a teammate. Teammate will send it out wide. Gets it taken away from her. That was Jones, whose pass got intercepted, but it's going to be another throw-in. Way over on the far side of the field there is Hellison. Hellison, a big throw from her. Stapleton will header it back. Here's Hellison. Backing off a defender, looking for a place to go. Stapleton now. She'll send it back. That's intercepted and going right back the other way was Aubrielle Tusi. Tusi lost a handle on it, but now that ball is back on the back line of Northwest. Here comes Northwest now on a counter. Instead, it's Johnston with the intercept. Trying to get it to Luo. Luo a little strong. Going to be sent to Thomason. Thomason just sends it to midfield and puts any harm out of reach for the time being. But back comes Johnston. Northwest wins that 50-50 ball over on the far side of the field. Having a run down the sideline is Prodden. Prodden trying to get a defender off of her. Cuts back. Going into the box, some nifty footwork from her, goes with the left. Ball gets out of bounds just ever so slightly, and it will be a corner kick. Prodden with a great run there. Drew the defender. Both of them kind of ran out of gas a little bit. She tried to cut it into the 18. Instead, it ends up out of play. So we'll set up for another corner kick as we get a trio of subs. Roker's going to kick it in, and those were subs for Waukee Northwest. Here comes the ball back into play. Ball just off of, I think that was Romy Crowett, who got a shoulder on it. And then Johnston just puts it out of play once again, and so we're going to get another corner kick from the far side. Here comes Roker once again, trying to curl it into the box. Can't quite get there, and then what a save, one-handed by Ford on the line. She made that look as simple as could be after a beautiful touch off the volley. Looked like it was bound for the net. Instead, Ford says, not tonight. One's more than enough. What a save it was. See if we can get you a replay on that one as well here in a moment, because it's worth another look. Not every night you see a one-handed snag. Maybe on the football field we saw it a time or two out here, but certainly not on the soccer pitch. As we've got a foul there, and that's going to go back the other way. See if we can get a look at that replay once again. Here comes the corner from Roker. She sends it into the box. It's going to take one hop and then to the back post, and just snagging it out of midair on the Natalie Elliott touch was Ford. A thing of beauty. Great job by our camera crew and replay officials to make that happen. So we've got a little bit of looks like some cramping down on the field right now for Johnston. Just working through some pain. Never a fun spot to be in. But no worse for the wear is Shea Griffith. Again, Griffith, a senior defender. She's been a key part of that back line tonight. But man, oh man, I can't get over the save by Delaney Ford. Put that in the top plays of the night if you're watching. Griffith going to send it up over the top. A little strong, but that'll still be on the feet of Johnston. Their goalie has kept them in it. Now here comes a big run off the line, and that's a smart play by Thomason. It was a great run, a great looking run there. That was Cora Shaw coming right down the pipe with it and nearly had it to her feet. If she beats Thomas into that ball, I'm not sure there's much that the keeper can do there, and we'd have a 1-1 game. Instead, we still sit 1-0, 26 minutes to play here at Northwest High School. That ball getting pinned back, and that's going to be a goal kick. Once again, as that just keeps rolling. It's downside to this artificial turf era of soccer. The ball just kind of keeps rolling. Got to have good touch. Fortunately, most of these teams are practicing on this turf. But I'm still a big proponent of the natural grass. I think it's top-notch. I think it's safer overall, and I'm sure, there have been thoughts about the studies on the impact that turf has had on injuries, but that's for another day and another dollar. No penny for my thoughts on that right now as we get back into play. Long tried to play it ahead, couldn't quite get it through. It finds the back line once again. That ball going to be kicked out of bounds, and defender for Johnston asking for a throw in our way, but Northwest will retain the ball. It's going to be Shane again on the throw in. Finds ahead of Johnston. Shane just lets it roll out of bounds. It'll be another Shane throw in coming your way. Another big throw, but this time it finds the feet of Elliott. Elliott out to the middle. That ball turned over, going back the other way. Here comes Luo. She's got a 2-on-2 opportunity. She's got a runner out wide. That's going to be Long, and the bender in finds the feet of Long. Long back ahead and through. Luo's in all alone. She beats the offsides, beats the keeper, and flicks it home. What a move around Thomason as Luo scores! Lydia Luo showing the footwork to find the twine, and a beautiful pass by, I believe it was Jaslyn Long there with the play through. It was a little two-person game going back and forth. Luo gave it to Long. Long came back, saw Luo ready to make a run. In the back line of Northwest, caught flat-footed, and certainly on sides was Lydia Luo as we find ourselves knotted up at 1 apiece. One more. I think we had another look at it, but here comes Northwest now. A quick flick through, and there's the answer from the Wolves. In the blink of an eye, guess who? It's Natalie Elliott. Elliott's second of the night makes it 2-1, and we were just looking down at a replay quick, and we find our second goal from Northwest. Here's another look at it as we see that ball get played through a bit. Finds the foot of Elliott. Elliott makes a run, has a keeper to beat. Just a quick little chop over the top. And that is the 2-1 lead that we now find ourselves in. And suddenly this game is opened up with plenty of offense. Great job by our crew to catch all of that. I know there's a lot going on within it. Now can Johnston find magic twice tonight? Of course, Luo now with her 5th goal on the year. I believe in 6 games. She's been electric to start the season. This is a Johnston team that was ranked 9th a week ago, dropped down to 11th thanks to a couple of ties. Certainly no fault of their own in that sense. Here come the Dragons, but Northwest going to take it away in the midfield again. Johnston going to try and send one over the top. Not quite enough muster to get it over to Luo once again for another big run, and here comes Northwest. It'll be a throw-in for Shane. Shane goes strong over the top. Quick flick of the header. And along and fighting for it there. That ball's going to stay with Northwest, but still nice defending overall from Gabby Black. There's another header. Out of the box it goes, but not out of harm's way. Strong boot from Crowett, just a little too strong. That one went through the uprights. Seen that a couple of times. Romy Crowett, strong right foot. Those with her strong basketball skills, too. So here comes Johnston. We've got 22 and a half to play. We had a couple of goals there in the 25th. 25 minutes to play and 24 minutes to play. They came very quickly back to back. The first from Luo in this half, and then it was Natalie Elliott. And here, speaking of Elliott, here she goes again with some speed. Going to send it on Cage. What a save again by Delaney Ford. Ford lays out, claws it down, and she'll get it moving quickly. She wants her team to go back on offense. Instead, here comes Northwest on another counter. Pass across, doesn't find a foot. Crowett now with the right. Has another go. What a save. Aubrey Ford is on fire between the pipes right now. I'm sorry, Delaney Ford. 2 massive saves to keep this a 1-goal game. She laid out with one, trying to move it quickly. Got turned over, and then she fully extends to get a right hand on it and away from the cage. Here comes Roker's kick in. Over the top, another header. Couple of chances, never really settled. That one flipped over the top, too. Johnston trying to clear it. Northwest threatening. The battle for the ball will go Northwest's way. They'll throw it right back in, and they're going to say, no, that's Johnston's ball. And that's great defensive play by the Dragons to clear away any chance at another goal to extend this to a 2-goal game. Here's the throw-in, and we're going to get some subs at first. Maria Wilcox saying, oh, I thought we were ready to go there. Not quite, though. Still 2-1, and come back to that save by Delaney Ford, because that shot from well out wide from Crowett had Twine written all over it. Instead, Ford said, not tonight. We're done with that for now, and Northwest trying to find another opportunity to go with it. Finds the foot of Crowett. Dribbling into space, she'll send it out wide to Shane. Shane has room. She's looking for a right-footed cross into the box if she can find it. She does send it, but Ford is there. Once again, she'll whisk it away. That's off the chest, and Northwest going to come right back at it. Some touch passing around midfield. A little bit too strong, and Jaslyn Long will step in on it, force a turnover. Here's another big throw-in. Northwest having the ball around midfield again, turns it over. This ball just kind of bounding around a bit between the 10 and the 20, but here comes Northwest once again. Another play out wide. Here's Elliott. Elliott gets stuck right in the middle. Nifty play, and then we're going to get a foul. That was Cora Shaw that got taken down, and that's going to allow things to reset a bit here for Johnston. Maybe a bit of a smart foul, to be honest, because it looked like Johnston had numbers going the other way with it. Kate Strickler sends it into her offensive half of the field. That's going to be Jaslyn Long. Again, doubled up there, trying to dribble through, looking for a call. There is none. They say play on. That, though, will not be a play on. It'll be a throw-in for Johnston instead. Northwest on the counter now, looking for some space to work. It's Jones. Jones sends it up and through, just doesn't quite find where she wants to go with it. That'll be a goal kick. Here comes Northwest once again. They create another turnover. Just tough place to go for Cora Shaw. She ran out of real estate. But Ford will bring it in and letting it get all squared away here. As Ford will chuck it long there. Nice 30-yard toss there from her goal line. I'm sorry, from the touchdown line, the end zone line.
Throw in for the Wolves.
Be a Wolves throw-in.
Entering the game.
Again, another cool night for some soccer. I see most people bundled up. The wind has picked up a bit out of the north as well. Going to be a chilly weekend for your Easter holiday. Of course, it is that time of year, though. Youth soccer in full swing. High school soccer in full swing as well. Both coaches looking to their bench to maybe stay warm. See all those coats down there just huddled up a bit. 16:30 to play. 2-1 soccer game. Northwest ahead of Johnston. Dragons had an equalizer, but only for a moment. And Northwest trying to double up on their lead. That ball takes a wicked hop there. Ford checking herself there after taking a dive. I can tell you from experience, the turf is less forgiving than natural grass. You'll have a raspberry or two after diving on this stuff if you're catching a spot that might not be covered as well. Instead, it'll be a Northwest corner. It's Roker. Little right tries to sweep it in, and instead she goes right off of her own player. Tally Mulbauer kind of getting in the way there. I think she was expecting something up a little bit higher. Instead, it catches her in the middle of the back and be a quick goal kick. Now we'll get a Johnston throw in. Big boot out to midfield. That's to Luo. Luo can't quite settle it, though. Tries to get a little bit of help from her supporting cast over there. Still no settling that ball down at this point, though. Luo, the lone goal for Johnston this evening on a beautiful play and through ball by Jaslyn Long. That'll be a Northwest throw in now.
Entering the game for the Wolves, number 16, senior, Aubrey Lalone.
Looking forward to a bit of a warm-up here as spring progresses on into late April and into May. We got the Drake relays right around the corner as well. And Stapleton just a little strong on that, and that'll be another goal kick. As I mentioned, the relay's not far away. Always a great time when you get over on the blue oval. Blake Bolden always doing a great job over there. That ball will drift out of bounds just a bit on Cora Shaw. And again, the Wolves will throw it in. Things have settled a bit since that 24th, 25th minute flurry that we saw in this half. So here comes the throw. Shaw going strong and long. Just a little bit too far out of reach, and that ball finally settling again. Stapleton going to give it a quick hit with the head. Instead, it's going to come right back. Strickler says, no, we're going to go the other way with it. And here comes Shaw. Shaw trying to work around three defenders. They're going to give the ball to Waukee Northwest. Northwest gets another throw in from Shane. That's off a Johnston head and going to roll right to the mitts of Delaney Ford, who has had an outstanding night. She made a couple of big saves just a bit ago to keep this a one-goal game. Northwest High School up 2-1. Could easily be 3 or 4-1 at this point as Luo applying pressure to that back line. Northwest will navigate away from it. Up ahead to Crowett. Crowett plays it back. I'll let things settle a bit, eat up some clock while they're at it. Looking for a little bit of space. Way out there on the far side of the field. Tough to catch a number from that distance now as the sun is completely set here at Northwest High School. Beautiful stadium, as we've talked about before, not only during soccer season but football season as well. They did a great job with this facility. It's one of the special ones in Central Iowa, though they're all getting better as Stapleton makes a run into the box. She's got to corral it. Instead, she'll just put it into the feet of the defender, and we'll get a corner kick. I take that back then, cross the line, and it'll be a goal kick instead. Got another substitution here. Lydia Luo will check out for a bit. Her night might be over with 11:30 to play. We'll find out, I guess. Again, 5th goal on the year for her. It was a big one, but only for a moment. It was a nice battle there just outside the 18 for that ball. Long couldn't quite get a good foot on it, so it goes out of bounds. Quick throw from Shane. She's looking for a run from Romy Crowett. Crowett off her thigh and right back to the feet of Johnston. Johnston, you're going to try and get it rolling, but instead it's a turnover, and Stapleton's got some space. She'll play it to the middle. Back out they go. They'll work it all the way across the field. A little bit of a strong second touch there, and that's going to go out of bounds. It's a good setup, but Hellison just couldn't quite settle it fast enough as that ball got away from her. Fortunately for Northwest, it finds its way out of bounds, and now we're going to get a corner kick on the far side. The long throw-in goes off ahead and drifts out of bounds. I'm going to assume it's Roker out there again. It is. She'll deliver on the corner once again. From the right side. A quick header. Roker going to have another look at it. She goes to the top of the 18. Step down on. I'll find another foot and be loose inside the 18 again. Johnston doing a nice job to corral it and send it out of the box. That ball flicked on net and harmlessly into Ford's hands. Delaney Ford looking way out wide for Shaw. Instead, it will eventually get there. Shaw going to keep it in play and try and make a run down the line. Has a defender. Fended off nicely there by Kinsey Shea. Shea bumped long off the ball, and here comes Northwest. Another look at things. They'll set stuff up here and try and make a good run out of it. Stapleton in the middle. She'll settle things down, put it back. Long comes back with some back pressure. Instead, it stays with Northwest. Northwest just looking for room to work and try and find an outlet for another shot on net. Instead, Johnston just swallowing everything up. And that little short hop isn't going to do much as Ford will settle it down once again, and she'll get ready to punt it away. Instead, she'll throw it out to Cora Shaw. Shaw trying to find some room. She's got some speed, keeps it on her feet. That goes into the defender's feet, and now here comes Jones. Jones will send it way out wide now. Elliott, the goal scorer this evening for Northwest, shows some speed, comes up with it, has it inside the 6. She sends it just over the crossbar. Would have been another big one for her this evening. Instead, it stays 2-1 with 8:30 to play. Tough to find many more good looks like that this evening, but that was one of the best ones we've seen that hasn't gone in. She had to go kind of sideways off the volley, and you like the idea there to just get one on net and just goes over the crossbar ever so slightly. Keeps us at a 2-1 soccer game here. The big cross out wide. Sent back, and that one's going to be cleared away for just a moment. Hellison will play it back, and then it's going to be sent back in by Emma Twigg. Hellison with some back pressure. Lydia Luo is back in. She just had a quick break there. Catch her breath, grab some water, and keep rolling as we're now under 7.5 to play. Crowett with a header, trying to go over the top to Stapleton. Ford comes off her line, and she'll scoop it up. She's probably going to come back out wide. Instead, it looks like she will set up for a kick off the turf. Big boot. Doesn't find a teammate, though. Instead, it finds Crowett. Crowett working on a defender herself. Kicks it out of bounds. That's well played there by Alexia Leach. Making life a little bit more difficult there on Crowett. Throw in, booted out of bounds once again. Another ball that goes out of bounds, but this time it'll go Northwest's way as Jaslyn Long gave it a little bit of a touch just out of play, and we get a sub in here once again. Just a handful of minutes left in tonight's matchup. Clogging up the middle is Johnston. Not giving Northwest much room to make another run down the pipe of this defense. Instead, on the far side, some swift dribbling through traffic leads to a loose ball, and that's going to be cleared away once again out to the 35-ish. Northwest just keeps that ball on their foot quite a bit. We haven't seen Johnston really with another opportunity since that Luo goal back with 25-30 to play. Here comes Luo, though, showing the speed down the line. She's got a couple defenders on her. She tries to make a move. A big tackle is kicked out of bounds. No call on the play. Luo is down. Hard to tell from here, but looked like it was mostly ball contact, and I think Luo just went up in the air and landed a little bit awkwardly, and that will sting. Clock is stopped here for an injury. Jones getting some stretching in as well, and Luo back up on her feet. That one will sting a little bit, but she'll play through it here as Johnston continues on. It is their ball as it went out of bounds off the defender. Playing it up ahead to Long. Jazz Long couldn't quite get to it. Instead, here comes Northwest, but Johnston sticks with it, creates another turnover. Long. Amongst three Northwest players, she's fighting for everything, can't quite get to it. And here comes Northwest now on the counter. It's Lalone. Lalone down the line. She's going to look out ahead. That's going to be put out of bounds there by Shea Griffith.
Entering the game for the Wolves, number 25, sophomore, Romy Cross.
Crowett comes in. Under 5 minutes to play now. Stapleton tries to flick it ahead. Having a go with it is Lalone. Showed some speed there. We're going to get a corner kick. Or a throw-in, I apologize. A throw-in here. And it'll be Hellison on the throw this time. Strong throw from Hellison. Goes into the box. Just finds some feet, and that will find its way for a corner. As Northwest looks to bottle up this game and put it to bed. One more here would ensure a likely win, a 5th win on the season for Northwest. This one's cleared away. Don't count Johnston out yet. Under 4 to play. Plenty of soccer left. Roker going to put it into the box one more time. That ball will find the back of the net as crashing into the goal. On the far side, it looked like Jones got in on it. We'll catch a number here in just a moment. Hard to tell amongst the people. Nope, it's Romy Crowett getting in there with the body, and that will likely be the icing on the cake to make this a 3-1 soccer game. We'll grab you a replay here in just a moment. Another nice play off the corner. Here we go once again. Roker sends it in nicely. Crowett crashing that back post in off the body. Just goes unmarked, and that is the exclamation point on a 3-1 night for Northwest. And that should make them a 5-0 team. The top team in the state will remain unbeaten tonight, given a minor miracle for the Johnston Dragons. This will be the first loss on the year for the Dragons. Keep in mind, they've played a very solid game. Just a couple of moments here that Northwest has been able to break through with. Jaslyn Long gets fouled, so it's going to be a free kick. Now Johnston playing with some urgency and desperation in their game. It's Strickler. Strickler, a big boot with the right. Sneaks under her teammate's foot. And that's going to be a handball off of Hellison. We're going to get a stoppage in play for a new soccer ball there. It is a handball on Hellison. Strickler going to try and send another one into the box. Lifts it high over the head of just about everyone down there, and Northwest just going to clear it away as that clock keeps ticking under 3 minutes now. It's been a great game, 3-1 as I mentioned, and some quick goals. Natalie Elliott with 2 off my vision. I don't know if I'm always right there. I'm sure we'll get that corrected as this one goes official tonight on Bound. Then Romy Crowett with 1. Lydia Luo gets 1, her 5th on the year. And Johnston had life, but only momentarily. Again, the great run right down the middle by Natalie Elliott. Then just a quick flick over Delaney Ford. And Ford played a stellar game tonight. Props to the Johnston goalkeeper this evening. She had some outstanding saves. That certainly gave her team a chance to stay in it. Not a lot more that she could do in this evening's matchup. Johnston just ran out of a little bit of steam there in the second half. They had a couple chances in the first half, but really Northwest has controlled much of the ball in this game. As we go a minute 30, 90 seconds left in it. Northwest getting a push there, and I think that clock's just going to keep ticking. It can't tick fast enough here if you're Northwest. Johnston, it's going to move too fast on them. As Shea Griffith is going to give it another kick here. Got to let it settle for a moment at the 50. She'll give it a quick kick, and just a minute to play here now. This one's Stapleton. Stapleton plays it way out across. Out into space. That ball's still free, and Northwest going to just keep possession of it for the final 45. "30 seconds to play." Not a lot happening in the final seconds of tonight's matchup again, but what a performance it was for both of these teams. Great matchup here, top 15 showdown. Johnston has every reason to be in that top 15 ranking, and certainly you see why Northwest can be considered the top team in the state right now. 3 goals tonight against a very good Johnston Dragons team, 2 of them off the foot of Natalie Elliott, 1 off the body of Romy Crowett. And that is how we find ourselves in a 2-1 final or 3-1 final as the final horn sounds here from Northwest High School. It was a great game on both ends, some great goalkeeping, some great goal scoring. Certainly a fun one as we will wrap this one up. Waukee Northwest gets the win. 3-1 over the Johnston Dragons. The Wolves move to 5-0. Johnston drops to 3-1-2 on the season. One more time, your goal scorers Natalie Elliott with 2, Romy Crowett with 1 for Northwest. Then the Johnston Dragons find Lydia Luo for her 5th on the year. Not quite enough, though, to take down the number 1 ranked team. That is your final 3-1 Northwest over the Johnston.